York is back. New York, where y'all at, y'all? We right here, what's good? New York, stand up. Let everybody know, New York's in here. We reppin' New York City, cause we from
Santiago.
New York City.
Yeah.
New York's in the house, without a doubt. New York's in the house, wherever we go.
Well, today's the big day. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We got Benito. We got, Bad Bunny that's going to be performing. What's your thoughts on that?
I am excited about this because it's going to open up so many doors for so many other artists in the future, and it's also going to give confidence to the Spanish community in general.
With the Latino community.
Well, yeah, Latino.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference
Spanish
is, like Spanish is the country.
Okay.
So people will say, "Yo, I'm Spanish." Nigga, you're not Spanish. You're Dominican, or you're Puerto Rican. Or you Cuban, you speak Spanish, you know what I mean? But your nationality or your ethnicity, is not Spanish. You're not Spanish. And I've been to Spain numerous of times, and the Spanish people will definitely tell you, yo, you're Dominican. You're not Spanish. Stop referring to yourself as Spanish.
And they do that for what reason?
Well, because it's this truth. It's technically true. Like, we came up with this term of calling his Latino people a person from Puerto Rico. You call him Spanish, but he's not from Spain. For you to be Spanish, you have to be from Spain.
God.
That's like saying you're American, right? You call yourself American, but you don't call yourself English, because we know a person from that would refer to themselves as English is somebody from England. A lot of times we try to dumb things down so much so that we become literally ignorant of the facts, or
You feel like you're dumbing it down, or I guess Latin people are dumbing it down because they don't want to have to explain?
No, that's not nothing to explain. It's very easy. If you're Dominican,
if you're from a specific country, like Ecuadorian, or you're just like a person.
If anything, if you're gonna say anything, you could say I'm, from South America.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Oh, where are you from in South America? Oh, I'm from Ecuador. You know what I mean? Something like that. But in terms of like saying, like I'm Spanish from Ecuador. Oh, when did you migrate to Ecuador? I mean, were you born in Spain? That's what I would think. Oh, were you born in Spain? I mean, that's just, again, the problem. The problem with a lot of stuff that's going on in this country is literally ignorance, and at times it's willful ignorance, because that's a very easy no. You know what I mean? We've been calling people of Latin American descent Spanish, and that's unequivocally wrong. It's like there's the tie is okay. Your colonizers are the Spanish. So you call yourself you be a whole ass African descent person calling yourself Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You calling yourself Spanish, right? And you were basically brought to the country, the Spanish speaking country, to be a slave.
Yeah.
And you call yourself the colonizer.
What really frustrates me is the fact that I see so many people, both in the Latin community and African American community, who will essentially they'll like shorten their name or change their name so someone can pronounce it a lot easier. Like, Olufemi will become Femi. Some Spanish people who basically would essentially call themselves a shorter version of their name.
I mean, people call me Santi.
Okay.
They call me Santi, for example.
Well, that's a nickname as opposed to somebody
you're
struggling with your
right.
name and then basically saying, instead of calling you a certain name, they'll call you a letter.
Yeah. But see, a lot of that has to do with trying to accommodate the mediocre people. So that's what this whole war in this country is. It's literally mediocre people, but hurting that the world is devolving and they're unable to evolve with the world. Baby boomers, Gen X, my generation and stuff like that are so caught up in nostalgia. There's no logic involved. Back in the day, it was this way, and these people are soft today. Dude, let me tell you, man, the most important thing is knowledge and awareness, man. You know what I mean? This day and age and shit like that, man. If you still moving, if you're in your 50s and you still moving around with the mentality of a high school kid, bro, you got it wrong, bro.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And the sad truth is our president is a freaking adolescent. Because age doesn't even determine like your maturity, right? Age literally doesn't. Like you can go on throughout life, it never grow. Like it's people that they peaked in high school. They was the man or the lady in high school, right? And that's the best that they were. And they hold on to that. And they still act like they were in high school. Unfortunately, you look at a lot of things that we admired growing up and stuff, our ignorance allowed us to embrace a lifestyle that would land you in jail or dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we're at this moment in this country where, case in point, people in the streets been admiring Donald Trump.
Because he was wealthy and he was the guy throwing all of the fights in Atlantic City and just basically being a rich man with models.
And he destroyed everything that he touched. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, it's one of those things where you see the dude in the hood that he's selling dope. He's got all the nice cars and nice clothes and stuff like that, but he still might live in the hood. And he's not going no further than that. But when you're a freaking adolescent, that looks appealing to the eye. That's why it's really, really, really so important to get as much knowledge and expose yourself to as much as possible. That's the greatest thing about New York City, though. The greatest thing about New York City is the diversity, is the multicultures. That's like the most beautiful thing. But to explore that, as human beings, we're supposed to be inquisitive, but we're indoctrinated not to be inquisitive. We're indoctrinated to obey. And there's nothing wrong with, like you're supposed to like adhere to the law of the land, right? But you're also supposed to keep an open mind and be able to be inquisitive, and we're losing that. I think, to be honest with you, I think that we're on the cusp of really blowing up because we're getting these dumb motherfuckers out. They're starting to be so exposed now.
Well, when you mean dumb motherfuckers,
when I say dumb people, I'm talking about people who are willfully ignorant. They are just following what they feel is the status quo.
Well, I see it differently. I feel like a lot of those people are actually being elevated. They're being, look at case in point, Trump, whatever. A guy like that. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
Elevated.
No, he's been elevated for now, but he's also losing his power. Like you're seeing all these. I've never in my life, in all my years of living in this country, right? I've never seen the type of uproar against a sitting president in my life.
Okay.
Right? And that's because he is showing how ignorant he is. You have to remember, Trump is a trust fund baby.
Yeah.
He didn't create anything. He sold everyone a facade. And the rappers and the kids in the street, that's what they admired. They saw the shiny gold.
Yeah.
They showed the way that he carried himself, but the whole time he's been an insecure child. He just says that anything that comes to the top of his head, he does not use his brain.
Did you see that situation he did with Obama and Michelle?
Of course.
With the what was it, monkeys?
Yeah, with the apes, because
he said, but this is the thing. He said that he didn't watch the whole video. He just posted it.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's a freaking lie. Like for anybody to even believe that there's a possibility that he didn't watch the whole video and then he posted it, then you're as dumb as he is.
Yeah.
Literally. Because
and he wouldn't apologize still.
Of course, because he doesn't apologize. He's never going to apologize. When the Central Park 5 was found to be innocent, right, wrongfully accused, he didn't take back what he said. He doubled down on it. He doesn't apologize. He is a mediocre trust fund baby, and there was no incentive for this man to learn anything. So of course he wasn't going to be a good student. He just flexes his daddy's money. Before he was president, he was just entertainment for these people. But he's never been a part of that elite crowd or the elite people here in this city.
So what he's doing with ICE, like, what do you feel, how can we reverse this once he's out of office? Because I think it's just going to continue for the next, 3 years.
A lot of them that maybe they could have applied or qualified for the military, but they're so ingrained with white supremacy and hate groups that, they wouldn't even get past any of that. God forbid your supervisor is a black woman in the military.
What do we do as a people to
right now what's going on, we're doing what we do, the protesters.
That's not going to do anything.
Oh yes, it is going to do something when you start messing with people's money.
Done?
Boycotting
like
businesses.
What businesses they boycott?
Target.
So is Target affected? Because I see Target everywhere.
No, Target is everywhere, but it's empty. They've lost money. That's the thing. You have to look at the analytics, and you have to look at the data of, are these companies growing? If you're not paying attention to the solutions, or if you don't know the data, as far as you're concerned, nothing's happening. Donald Trump does not have the American people. His approval ratings are the lowest that they've ever been towards a president. He's dumb. And all of his supporters are dumb. All the minorities, the blacks for Trump, the Latinos for Trump, when this is over, and it's going to be over, they are going to be in one lonely ass, heartbroken place. It's going to be fucked up for them. And I'm going to tell you right now,
what's going to change for them?
What's going to change for them? I already have people that I was like cool with before this that I can't fuck with them no more. Dude, if you can literally ignore what the fuck is going on, right? And if you could just like go on about your life, nothing's happening over here. That's a lack of awareness. That's a lack of knowledge in terms of how democracy is supposed to work. That's a lack of knowledge in terms of civil rights being stripped from people. And if you think it's not going to affect you, hold on. It's coming.
Do you consider these people who are like Spanish, Latin,
right,
and black, who are voting for Trump or are rocking for Trump, but they have specific, reasons like abortion?
Let me tell you something, man. I am not a bit concerned about what another person does that doesn't affect me if they have the right to do so. I'm not
they want to take that right. That's why Roe versus Wade. Yeah,
I'm not for taking anyone's rights away from them. You see what I'm saying? Like these are the same people that'll say, "Oh, I'm against abortion," right? But everything falls on deaf ears when you talk about schools getting shot up and what we should do with firearms in this country. It's being an oxymoron. On one hand, you're like, oh, I'm pro-life, but what happens to the pro-life when the child is born and the child can't get proper, doesn't get proper health care, can't get food?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What happens when a far-right crazy person goes into a school and shoots the school up? They don't, what they say? They say silence and prayers. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. That's the answer to everything. So.
Are you on this side?
Yeah, I'm right over, I'm in this.
To the left?
Right there.
All right, so I'll turn right here.
Yeah.
That's ironic. The Trump building's right here.
Yeah, at the mama huevo. But it's just sad. It's sad to see. I mean, people say they're looking for solutions. The only thing that we can do right now is hold these people accountable. We never held those people accountable after the Civil War. We never held those people accountable after Jim Crow. Right? So any person who's still supporting this man, they're oblivious as to what's going on. And in terms of like blacks and Latinos for Trump, they're worse than the damn white supremacists, man, as far as I'm concerned.
New York is back. New York, where y'all at, y'all? We right here. What's good? New York, stand up. Let everybody know. New York's in here.